the LG Home 8 makes it really simple for installers as well because there's only two main components. That's really simple in terms of ordering, procurement, shipment, storage, and then actually getting to the job site, getting the equipment out, and finally the homeowner experience in terms of aesthetics. When we're dealing with just two main parts, it makes for a very, very clean install.
As I'm walking the show floor here at NABCEP 2024 in Raleigh, North Carolina, I see a lot of vendors with different solutions, but many of you are particularly interested in storage. You may have caught our interview earlier with Jim Brown, Senior National Sales Manager for LG Electronics Energy Storage Systems, where we talked about the differentiation of their energy storage product, in particular AC coupled, and the tenure in the marketplace since 2016 when it was originally introduced. I thought we'd swing by the booth and give you a chance to actually get a visual. We're here as well with Matt Burt, the sales applications engineer, who's going to give us a bit more detail on some of the product design. I think let's begin where we left off, Jim. Folks want to be able to figure, I find that folks want to figure out LG makes battery systems. How does this integrate into the overarching brand that most folks are aware of with regards to LG Electronics?
Yeah, thanks, Nico. Great question. And thanks for coming out here to the booth, too. It was great to sit with you in front of the screen, but it's great to have you right here at the booth where we have the Home 8 on display and functioning displays as well, showing you what the machine looks like in operation. Yeah, agreed. Good point. LG is known for a lot of things. Residential energy storage is definitely one of them, and this is LG Electronics energy storage system. You and I talked earlier about some potential confusion in the marketplace, but it's real clear that LG Electronics knows a thing or two about electronics, and we put that knowledge and technology right into the Home 8 energy storage system for residential application.
The Home 8, as you pointed out, is an AC coupled battery system. And there are a number of battery systems on the market that could be considered AC coupled. Installers have lots of choices when they look out in the marketplace. Help us understand the differentiation of the Home 8 system and in the myriad of choices why one would select the Home 8 product.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. The AC coupled system makes it really easy for our installer partners to add Home 8 to existing solar, but equally to include LG's Home 8 in a greenfield solar and storage installation. That AC coupling is just really simple. And for those installer partners worried about the monitoring experience for the homeowner, the Home 8 captures solar production. So we can show the homeowner in their monitoring app the entire energy system in their home, solar, grid, as well as the Home 8. Nico, further, the LG Home 8 makes it really simple for installers as well because there's only two main components. That's really simple in terms of ordering, procurement, shipment, storage, and then actually getting to the job site, getting the equipment out, and finally the homeowner experience in terms of aesthetics. When we're dealing with just two main parts, it makes for a very, very clean install. We're going to talk more about the Smart Energy Box and the Home 8 enclosure itself, but I think that's another key feature that installers really enjoy about the Home 8 is its form factor and appearance once the job's done.
Well, I certainly have chosen LG Electronics in the past for appearance and the reliability in the marketplace. Lots of folks like to choose a name brand, and I can definitely understand why folks would be leaning towards LG Electronics in that regard. Matt, we talked a bit about you working on a lot of different applications. You're a sales application engineer. I would imagine that folks tend to think of battery systems as a overly complex product. It's one of the reasons why installers have traditionally had resistance to introducing it to their customers. Talk to me a bit about the levels of support and how you try to demystify the complexity of the storage system.
Sure, absolutely, Nico. So, it's very important that, like training provides the best guidance available for the product so that installers have the confidence, they know how simple it can be, and know, what's been done out in the field to make it the most efficient. So it saves them time and makes an installation go very smooth.
Matt, tell me a bit about the technical support that you all provide. Perhaps how the installers typically are approaching you and the design level support that you are able to offer.
Sure, Nico. So, we like to work very closely with our installers. And so an installer may come to us with a plan set, that we need to review. We might have something on the back of a napkin that we got to put together
Yeah.
and bring it to fruition. Tell them what needs to be done. So we've had a lot of success with that, and we like to work very closely with installers and collaborate.
Yeah.
And so like to do on the front end is take care of anything that could happen and make sure that it's very successful. And they really shouldn't have to have technical support if we do it on the front end.
Well, I'm sure that folks enjoy technical support in the field. I understand that you actually have a chance to often go out and help commission these systems. Is there anything that you find that is a common refrain or an area where it has proven important to have one of the folks from your team and technical assistants on the site?
Yeah, Nico. So, when we're on site with a customer, we've been there before. And so we're there to support them. We actually help them go through the process, understand what needs to be done for a successful installation. And it goes real well. We enjoy being out in the field and helping the customer. And at the end, that their client is satisfied and they have a product that they can trust.
I'll tell you one thing that installers definitely look for is trust. They want to not only imbue trust for their homeowners, but they want to know that when they pick up the phone, somebody's going to answer, preferably on this side of the ocean, and they're going to be able to respond, preferably in their time zone, with a real answer.
That's right, and we've got the whole country covered, so we do a good job of being available should anything come up with needing to have technical support to answer questions and support projects.
Matt, I would love to learn a little bit more about the Smart Energy Box itself. What is this device? Talk to me a bit about what it does and why it matters, why it's different.
Sure, so the Smart Energy Box is our service entrance rated equipment, so interfaces with existing PV system or future PV system, and also batteries. So we've got 200 amp capability, we've got non-protected load lugs, and we have protected load lugs here. We have a grid isolation relay built in. We have an MID built in, so we can actually operate as a microgrid interface device.
So off the shelf, it can operate independent as a microgrid device, islanded device.
It can. So in case of grid outage, we can wake up a PV inverter and charge the battery that way.
And there's remote. It's a remote relay. So effectively, the grid relay switch is like an automatic transfer switch.
That's correct. The grid isolation relay operates as an automatic transfer switch, and it's built right into the Smart Energy Box. The lugs up here, we can have a main breaker. So again, I mentioned service equipment. Anywhere from a 100 to a 200 amp main breaker can be installed.
Is there anything else about the way that you've thoughtfully crafted this unit that stands out in your mind from the other systems that you've seen in the market?
Oh, absolutely. Great question, Nico. So, the one thing about our box, we've got this touchscreen display. So this is an HMI that we use to start up and commission the unit. And the beauty of it is we don't need to have internet connectivity. We don't need a phone app. It's all built in and menu driven. So it's a very simple process to do startup and commissioning of the unit from right here.
Without the need for any other additional peripherals?
No, it's all self-contained. We do have Wi-Fi capability, and we do have capability of Ethernet, but that comes later.
Yep.
We just can very quickly, efficiently get the unit going.
Yeah, I definitely understand the architecture and the usability. Is there anything particular to the rating of the system that you think is important for customers to know?
UL listed service equipment. So, it can be for a whole home backup or a partial home backup. It really depends on, the configuration and what's going on in the home.
Yeah.
But we have capability of non-protected loads as well as protected loads for load management.
So effectively, the Smart Box is the energy management system. This is the brains of the homemade energy storage device.
It's the brains and the primary interface to the utility, as well as the batteries and the solar.
Is there anything from a software perspective that allows, is this where the magic happens for the homeowner that wants to engage in arbitrage or any other sort of aspect to how they calibrate this device to work in their home?
Sure. Well, that's a great question. And so this is really for the installer. The homeowner has the ThinQ app on their phone. And so from their portal, they can operate the battery, they can look at energy, and they can look at time of use settings. All those features are available to the homeowner.
Thank you, Matt, for showing us the smart box. Now we're going to go take a look at the Home8 system itself. Well, as you've heard, the Home8 is the LG Electronics energy storage system we have been discussing. Again, Jim is going to take us on a little bit of a tour of this device. Jim, tell me what's different about this device and why it's got you so excited.
Matt did a great job walking us through the smart energy box. This is the other part of the two-part system of the Home 8. We call it the Home 8. This is housing the power conversion system, the inverter, as well as the battery modules. But I want to start on the outside of the product for you. So, Nico, this is a very unique feature that the Home 8 provides. The advantage of the display on the cover is for the homeowner's use. Under normal conditions, you can see there are three icons: solar, grid, and internet.
Okay.
And then there's a number. That number is percent state of charge.
Okay.
Okay, so at a glance, the homeowner can see the condition of the system. Now, when the grid goes out, naturally, the grid tower would turn red.
Middle here.
Yep, and the number is going to change from percent to hours remaining at current load.
Oh, how cool is that?
So at a glance, again, the homeowner can see the state of the Home 8. Why is that important? An app's an app, right?
Yeah.
App is great. It works great. The homeowner has a great monitoring experience in the LG ThinQ app, but if internet is down, if cellular service is down, the homeowner still has a clear view into the condition of the energy storage system at any point in time during the grid outage.
I can tell you, as someone who has tried various different battery systems to power core electronics like my refrigerator, it is a harrowing experience not knowing how much juice is left in the battery. This part, I truly appreciate as a consumer. I can say that for sure. Well, behind the door, we've got the magic that makes it all work. Let's take a look on the inside.
Yep. What we have on the inside here, power conversion system. We keep it behind the plastic front here.
And Jim, to be clear, this is an LG Electronics inverter. It's integrated into the system.
Great question, and absolutely, this is not white labeled. This is LG Electronics equipment. You know, electronics is in the company name, Nico. LG knows a thing or two about electronics.
Yeah.
So this is LG Electronics inverter, absolutely, rated at 7.5 kilowatts of AC output. Okay, the battery management system is built in, and then we have 4 battery modules. They all come inside the cabinet. They're all required.
You got one fell out on the ground down here.
Well, we'll have to collect that later, Nico. But it actually helps illustrate the modularity of the system.
Yeah.
Look, batteries aren't light, right? They're
Yeah.
heavy. So the way we help our installer partners is with this modular design. It takes a few minutes to remove the battery modules. Then the cabinet weight is reduced to 130 pounds. Very easy for 2 people to move and mount.
And is this something that's going to typically be mounted floor mount or wall mount?
Yeah, fair question. The Home 8 is floor mounted, but wall supported. There are anti-tip brackets that mount on the wall. Now, if an installer homeowner wants to mount the Home 8 off the floor, there is an accessory shelf that is aesthetically matched.
We've all seen the accessory shelves for our washer and dryer, so I have something already in mind for what you mean. What about those homeowners like myself who just don't have enough room in their garage?
Yeah, absolutely no problem at all. There's remember, it's a battery. It can also go in the basement, could go in a storage room, could go in a utility room. But you know what? The cabinet is NEMA 3R rated. So the Smart Energy Box and the Home 8 can both be mounted outside if necessary. But again, remember, it's a battery. Let's not put it in direct sunlight.
That's a very, very good point. Definitely want to build some sort of a enclosure or a cover for it. Jim, I really like the cleanliness, just the general overall layout of this cabinet and the form factor. It's actually very compact. It's hard for folks to tell, but I'll show you my device here, and it is literally the depth of the enclosure here. If you want to get a sense of exactly how far away from the wall this thing is going to sit. What else about the layout do you find folks would want to know?
I'll emphasize the form factor. Many systems out there are large, clunky. The Home 8 is just 8 inches deep. 27 inches wide, 49 inches tall. Really nice form factor. Doesn't take up a lot of space, but packs a lot of power for the homeowner. Now, in terms of layout, LG can stack 4 Home 8s side by side, up to 4. And so that takes the power at 7.5 kilowatts up to 30, and the usable energy from 14.4 kilowatt hours up to 57.6. That's a lot of power, a lot of energy to solve a lot of homeowner energy storage needs.
Couldn't agree more. And I'm a little embarrassed that you shared it's 49 inches tall. Now everyone will actually know roughly how tall I actually am. Thank you for tuning in here as we get a demo in person of the LG Electronics Energy Storage System Home 8 device and the Smart Energy Box. I want to thank Matt Burt and Jim Brown from LG Electronics for giving us a walkthrough of their products. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out to Jim at jim.brown@lge.com.
That's right. Perfect.
I've basically memorized it, Jim.
That's right. Let me throw in the website too, just in case. It is lg.com/ESS.
Hopefully you are now smarter, at least about this device. If you have other products that you'd like us to take a look at, or if you have questions that you'd like to throw at Jim, please reach out. We'd love to bring you more education just like this.